So in recent weeks, I have made a bunch of my very own Paradox Pokemon and have taken a look at what it would be like if we actually did get more Paradox Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. However, Paradox Pokemon were not the only new kind of Pokemon that were introduced in these games, because we also saw the introduction of Convergent Pokemon. These are basically variants of regional variants, where instead of being a form of an already existing Pokemon, it is a completely brand new Pokemon of its own that heavily resembles a pre-existing one, which seems to be inspired by the concept of convergent evolution. I personally think this concept is really cool, so in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some convergent Pokemon that I have made that will give us a glimpse at what it could be like if we did actually get some more convergent Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet somewhere down the road. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and check it out. As Pokemon fans, we obviously all like video games, but with today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University, you could actually be making games yourself. SNHU has one of the largest accredited non-profit online degree offerings in the country, with over 200 degree programs that are focused on helping you get into or advancing further into a career you love, which I'm sure for some of you might involve making video games of your very own. SNHU has a game development program where you can learn how to create dynamic gameplay experiences with game AI, game physics, 2D and 3D graphics, and interface design. You'll also learn how to program and how to create and texture 3D models, with all courses taught by industry experts. SNHU is also radically affordable, as their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the entire US, and by using my link in the description, snhu.edu/hoops, you can even check what a game developer or other career salary looks like, and if you would like to request more info, a real person will be available to hop on a call with you and discuss how the program can benefit you personally. Again, that's snhu.edu/hoops if you would like to check that out, and a big thank you to SNHU for sponsoring this video. The first Pokemon that I've decided to give the convergent form treatment to is none other than Swirlix. Now, Swirlix might seem like a bit of a random choice, especially considering it's not even in Scarlet and Violet currently. However, I have a very good reason for picking this Pokemon for the convergent treatment. You see, Swirlix is based on cotton candy, with cotton being the operative word here, and so I thought it would be fun to make a convergent version of Swirlix that is actually cotton instead of cotton candy. I thought this made a lot of sense for the convergent evolution concept, and with that said, I would like you all to meet Growlix. As I mentioned, instead of being based on cotton candy, Growlix is based on actual cotton, and is a bit of a more traditional dog in terms of its body style and how it gets around, with it standing on 4 legs instead of floating around in the air like Swirlix does. However, the transition from making it a cotton candy dog into a cotton dog was actually really seamless otherwise, because it could essentially have the same body, just recolored to more purely resemble actual cotton, and then, like I said, putting it on all 4s is a really simple change, but at the same time shakes up the design of this Pokemon a bunch to where it actually can be its own Pokemon in my opinion. The cool thing about this design as well is that it's not just coming from Swirlix's inspiration and turning it on its head. It actually has additional inspirations as well, because it's also based on the breed of dog known as Cotton de Tulare, and I'm probably pronouncing that terribly, but basically this is a dog that is known for its white, cotton-like fur. So between Swirlix being based on cotton candy and the opportunity for a sort of play on words there, and the fact that there is this breed of dog that exists in the real world that is also known as a cotton dog, I felt like the concept of Growlix was just a match made in heaven and a perfect opportunity. Growlix, instead of a fairy type like Swirlix, would be a normal grass type due to its cotton inspirations, and honestly, I just think this one works out really well, and I would love to see this sort of thing happen if we ever did get more Convergent Pokemon either in Scarlet and Violet or in future games as well. Next up, we're going to take a look at a Pokemon that actually already does have a regional variant of its own, and that would be Qwilfish. Now, normally you wouldn't take a Pokemon that already has a form like a regional variant and consider it for this kind of treatment. However, with that said, it's not impossible either, considering we got Wiglet and Diglett already has an Alolan form. So from that perspective, Qwilfish is fair game, and the reason why I decided to go with Qwilfish is purely because of the name that I have come up with for its Convergent variant. And that name, and this Pokemon, is none other than Quilish. Now, I came up with the name Quilish when brainstorming possible Convergent Pokemon, and I think it just works out perfectly, because it obviously pulls heavily from the name Qwilfish, which is what the names of Convergent Pokemon do in relation to the Pokemon that they are related to, and it also fits perfectly in terms of the concept itself, because this is essentially giving it its own name, Quilish, as opposed to Qwilfish, but it is very close to Qwilfish, as I said, and it also has a beautiful etymology to where it essentially means that this Pokemon is Qwilfish-like, or Qwilfish-ish, hence the name Quilish. So I actually came up with the name first on this one, and I thought that was just so neat and fun that I decided to create a full-on design for this, and when it came time to figure out what I wanted to base Quilish on, I actually discovered something that worked really well. You see, Qwilfish is known as the balloon Pokemon, so I did some research and decided to base Quilish on something that is known as a lava balloon. Basically, a lava balloon is lava that seeps into the ocean or other bodies of water, fills up with gas, and then rises to the surface as a lava bubble or a lava balloon. And since this tied in so well with what Qwilfish already is, I thought it was the perfect thing to base a Qwilfish Convergent form on, especially because it's a really unique and interesting concept. The other reason why I thought it would be really cool to base Quilish on a lava balloon is because that basis could give Quilish the opportunity to be a water fire type, which is exactly what it is, because this is obviously hot, molten lava that is very fiery, and the lava balloon itself is being formed as a result of it falling into water. So this is as perfect of a justification for a water fire type as you're ever going to find, in my opinion. It's obviously a type that a lot of people really like the idea of and doesn't really exist at all outside of Volcanion at this point, so this would be another great opportunity to make it happen. The lava balloons themselves are also very jagged and rough and circular in nature, which fits Qwilfish's concept and general appearance perfectly, and so it translates really well into a brand new Pokemon like Quilish. So essentially, Quilish is just a lava balloon. It's made to resemble what a lava balloon looks like, which is why it also doesn't have a tail, because it's just supposed to be the balloon itself, and that also helps differentiate it a little bit more from Qwilfish, in my opinion. But overall, this is another design that just came together really well, in my opinion. I really like the idea of it from multiple angles, and it's another one that I would love to see happen. For the third Convergent Pokemon of the video, I have got a fun one for you guys, or should I say a funny one, because we are going to be focusing now on none other than Seel. The reason why I have decided to focus on Seel here is because A, it is a Kanto Pokemon, and Kanto Pokemon are always more likely to get this kind of treatment, so it's a little more realistic. B, because Seel and Dugong have not received any kind of new form or special treatment whatsoever, so I feel like they are due for something like this at this point. And C, they also really need it, because these are some of the most plain and vanilla Pokemon that have ever lived. There's also another reason why I have selected Seel for this treatment though, and that is because when looking at Seel, it actually has a face that resembles a dog despite being based on a seal. This is possibly because baby seals are known as pups, but with such a dog-like appearance, I thought it would actually be really fun to make a convergent form of Seel that was actually a dog. I thought this sounded like a really fun concept and a really cool way to bring some excitement to Seel as a Pokemon, and therefore that is what resulted in the creation of Spot. Now, there are a lot of things that I feel like I need to address here with Spot, first and foremost being its name. Obviously, the name Spot is very simple, but it's intentionally very simple, because when it comes to convergent Pokemon, their names are, to this point, always heavily based on the name of the Pokemon that they are based on. However, when it comes to Seel, it would be kind of hard to name a Pokemon that's based on a dog, seal, or anything relating to a seal, and so I simply decided to take the concept and the themes of the name Seel itself and translate it into a dog Pokemon. So basically, since Seel is a seal Pokemon that is named Seel, I wanted to do the same for this dog version of Seel and basically just name it Dog as a sort of fun poke and tease at what Seel is known for in terms of its basic design. And that is where the name Spot came from, as Spot is one of the most common and stereotypical dog names out there, but I added in a slight paw pun just so it wasn't the actual literal word and name Spot. To be honest, I kind of hate it, but I feel like it works perfectly at the same time, so that's what we're gonna go with. Additionally, Spot is an all-black color as opposed to Seel's all-white in order to help differentiate it even more from the Pokemon and make it its own species. But it's also because Spot is based on the Newfoundland dog species, which is a species of dog that not only has a similar face to what Seel has, which is partially why I chose it, but they can also be colored completely black as well. So for all of these reasons, it made a good basis for little Spot here. As far as the typing goes, it is simply just normal type because it is obviously just a dog, and the fact that it is just a dog like Seel is just a seal is kind of the theme for this, so the normal type works perfectly, and yeah, that's kind of what Spot is all about, is just a tease at how basic of a design Seel has, and just doing that again in a different sort of form. With that said though, those are just a few ideas that I have personally for convergent Pokemon. But what do you guys think about them? Would you like to see these actually become the real thing and potentially be in Scarlet and Violet if we get more convergent Pokemon in DLC? And do you like the concept of convergent Pokemon in general, and would you like to see it happen in future games? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more if you're new. With that said though, I will be back very soon with another video, so until the next one, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I really, really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.